Town Council meets and primary election day tomorrow, plus bikeways, the old Mildred's Chowder House, and more, all on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, September 5th, 2012. I'm Sarah Colvin. A roadwork notice for you this week. The DPW will be milling and paving on Finney's Lane, Centerville from Route 28 to Route 132. Crews will also be at work on Center Street, Hyannis, and Marion Way, Mid-Pine Road, and Braggs Lane in Barnstable. Roads are expected to be open for local traffic during construction. However, drivers are advised to seek alternate routes if possible. Periodic delays, lane closures, detours, and travel restrictions could occur during that work period. And we have been getting reports from drivers that Finney's Lane was rather congested yesterday, so keep that in mind when you hit the roads. Town Council will meet tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall hearing room. The bulk of the evening will likely be taken up with the Renewable Energy Commission's presentation on the future of solid waste disposal. Town Council President Fred Chirigotis outlines the orders of the day.
We will have a presentation or workshop, however you want to put it, with the Renewable Energy Commission. And hopefully we will hear what are the available options with regard to solid waste for the town of Barnstable. Then we can move to old business. We have approval of a contract with Barbara Ford, who is has been acting as the administrator for the town council. Then we have some new business, acceptance of a gift of 5 lifeguard canopies from the Glenna Cole Fund for Hope to the town of Barnstable. I can say that I actually heard from some lifeguards who were glad to have those. Accept a $177,282 fiscal year 13 Department Support and Incentive Grant from the Mass Executive Office of Public Safety, I believe. Mm-hmm. We have acceptance of a $56,022 grant from the United States Department of Justice and accepting a $14,000 fiscal year 2010 Emergency Management Performance Grant. And then we have authorize the town manager to dispose of land at 58 Willow Avenue in Hyannis. And those are the matters which are on this week's agenda.
Finance Director Mark Milne offers details regarding the sale of property on Willow Ave.
Which the town has owned, I believe, since 1960. We currently have a tenant there that operates Cape Cod Fuel out of the premises. They rent the facility from us currently, and a determination has been made that there's no need for the town to continue to own this property. We'd rather get it back on the tax rolls, and it is located within our growth incentive zone. However, there's nothing that the town wants to develop there, so we just assume continue to leave it a commercial type of property with and sell it outright to whoever the highest bidder, which happens to be the current tenant on the property. So that item is up before the council this Thursday evening. And the proceeds from the sale, if approved, will go into a special revenue fund in accordance with state laws, which allow us to use those proceeds for any type of expenditure for which the town could borrow money for. So, for example, we can't use the proceeds from the sale to pay for salaries of employees, to pay utility bills, because we couldn't borrow money to fund those types of costs. However, we could use the money for things like reconstructing a road, making repairs to another town-owned facility, because those are types of expenditures for which we could borrow money for.
Town Council meets Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Barnstable Town Hall. Press questions veered from the Town Council agenda at Tuesday's press conference. Town Manager Tom Lynch was asked for an update on bikeways plans in Barnstable. Lynch says a concerted effort is ongoing.
Create a bike path all along Route 6 and below Route 6 there along the Fisheries and Wildlife from basically Willow Street across the top of that area. And Lindsay Council and Growth Management have been very, diligently working on that. So we're hoping that in October we'll be able to bring an agreement forward that the Town Council could approve to allow for us to go across Fisheries and Wildlife land. They've never allowed that, and they're very restrictive as to their uses. But this is something that former Senator Rob O'Leary and current Senator Dan Wolf have been very interested in. The commissioner has been very favorably inclined to this, and we think we have the pieces put together. But there are a couple of more steps to take, and if that happens in September, we should be ready in in October to bring something to the council.
I see.
And in addition to that, that was basically is part of the whole Cape Cod Rail Trail. And Yarmouth has, a section that they've been working on. There might be a gap between Old Town Road and Yarmouth and up to where we would start in Barnstable, but we're hoping that legislatively they could find some funds to resolve that. But we also spent a good deal of time just talking about over-the-road bike paths that could be put in place in each village, and so we're looking at that too.
Lynch was also asked for an update on the airport's desire to do something with the former Mildred's Chowder House property.
I've met with both the airport manager and also Ron Prasuti, who's the chair of the Airport Commission. They have kind of outlined their goals. They've got quite a few goals that they want to try to accomplish for long-term sustainability of the airport. One of them including development of properties outside of the airport fence line, the old Mildred's being one of them. They came to us just to be sure that if they started pursuing things that wouldn't be in conflict with other things that were also going on, the access, study that's going on for, Route 28 along there. And so at this point in time, we're just in discussions and no concrete decisions made, but we're fully aware that they would like to develop the property and, have it be an income-producing property for them. So I think the suggestion that was made by the chair of the commission was he'd love to see another Mildred's Chowder House. He thought that was a perfect sort of business for that area.
Primary elections are being held tomorrow. Polls open at 7 a.m. across Barnstable. Town Clerk Linda Hutchenrider fills us in on why the election is being held on a Thursday this year and not on a Tuesday.
That was part of a movement to make sure that there was sufficient time between the November election and the September election. And this was the date that the Secretary of the Commonwealth picked. The clerks had nothing to do with it, so we'd like to absolve ourselves of confusion on that part. But also, this is an election that only people who are registered Republicans, registered Democrats, registered Green Rainbow, and unenrolled voters can vote in. If you are registered in a political designation, you cannot vote. That's it. It is a party.
Hutchenrider has some important information for voters heading to the polls tomorrow.
This is a really important election to the individuals who are on here, who are trying to get on the ballot in November.
Absolutely.
Do not write in someone who is not a candidate. Putting your husband on there or your best friend or Mickey Mouse is truly a waste of time. I know you're making an expression of your rights, but it takes so much longer for the people at the polls to add up the votes, for those votes to get into us, and for us to be able to get that out to the news services. And it isn't going to help anybody in the long run. So please consider the individuals running for the offices, but try to hold off on, putting in your grandmother.
Hutchenrider says this is a very important election for the candidates for the 2nd Barnstable State Representative seat.
Nobody is running against them on the Republican side. So if you are a Democrat or if you are unenrolled and you are taking a Democrat ballot, this is a choice that is a very important choice to those two individuals, because there is no final election for them, because in November there are no Republicans running against.
Again, polls open at 7 a.m. on Thursday. Only those registered Democrat, Republican, Green Rainbow Party, or unenrolled can vote in tomorrow's election. Visit the town's website or call the town clerk's office if you're unsure. where to vote. Osterville Precinct 5 voters do have a change in venue for tomorrow. Precinct 5 voters will vote at the fire station instead of at Cape Cod Academy, as it's the first day of school there. Voters will return to Cape Cod Academy for the November election. Berta reminded that tomorrow the election does take place at the fire station at 999 Main Street. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.